Alright, so we have here my second grade class, which is
Nia, Sarah, Maria,
and we are about to review a plot diagram. So always we've been working on plot diagrams, and we actually use the story. We actually use the story of the Three Little Pigs to go or to as an example as to how to do a plot diagram. So even in this presentation right here, we'll also be doing or looking at the Three Little Pigs again as an example of how to do plot diagrams. Tomorrow you will need to know the 5 parts of a plot diagram. And you may also need to know some information from the Three Little Pigs and how to apply it to a plot diagram. Alright?
Yeah.
Alright, so what is a plot? A plot is the literary element that describes how fictional stories are usually organized. So to basically put that in an easier or more simpler term, a plot is how a story is organized. It has a beginning,
Middle, and end.
a plot has a beginning, middle, and end. You don't need to know that, so I'm going to keep moving on. Components of a plot. Components of a plot diagram. First, you have the exposition. What does the exposition include?
Character, setting, and conflict.
Character, setting, and conflict. Very good. What does rising action lead to? The rising action. Very good, Nia. Rising action leads to
The climax.
the climax. Very good. Conflict is the dramatic struggle between two forces in a story. Without conflict, there is no plot. What's another name for conflict? The what of the story?
Problem.
The problem of the story. You don't need to know that either. Climax. The climax is the turning point when the focus switches from the problem to the solution. The climax is the most what part of the story? The climax is the most blank part of the story that you're waiting on. The most exciting part of the story that you're waiting on. Alright, and it's also called the turning
Point.
The turning point of the story. Very good. Following action. What does following action lead to? The resolution. Very good, Nia. Following action leads to the resolution of the plot or the story. Is that clear?
Yes.
Exposition is the character. It introduces you to the characters, the setting of the story, and also it introduces you to the conflict of the story. Rise and action are all the events leading to the climax. The climax is the most exciting part of the story, or the
Exciting part. The most part you've been waiting.
The part you're waiting for, or the
Exciting.
okay, we said exciting, or the
The problem.
turning point. The following actions are all of the events that lead to the resolution. I'm going to say it again because I know Nia has it. Following action is all the events that lead to the
Resolution.
Resolution is what?
The conclusion where the problem is solved or
So all you need to know is the resolution is how the problem is solved. The resolution is what?
how the problem is solved.
How the problem is solved. Let's look at the Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs, and the time came for them to leave home and seek their fortune. Before they left, their mother told them, whatever you do, do it the best that you can, because that's the way to get along in the world. The first little pig built his house out of straw because it was the easiest thing to do. The second little pig built his house out of this is a little bit stronger than a straw house. The third little pig built his house out of
Brick.
So where are we on the plot diagram? Let's look at the exposition. What are the characters in this story?
The pig.
The three little pigs and
The wolf.
the wolf. One night, the big bad wolf, who dearly loved to eat fat little piggies, came along and saw the first little pig in his house of straw. He said, let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and puff and I'll blow your house in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, said the little pig. But of course, the wolf didn't blow the house in and ate the first little pig. This is a different story, huh? The wolf then came to the house of sticks. Let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, said the little pig. But the wolf blew that house in too and ate the second little pig. I know, right? The story is extremely different. Wow. Kind of mean.
The other one didn't.
So, where are we now on the plot diagram?
The rise in action.
The rise in action. Now we're at the rise in action. Very good. Okay. There's some of the big. The wolf then came to the house of bricks. Let me in, cried the wolf, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, said the pig. Well, the wolf huffed and puffed, but he could not blow down that brick house. But the wolf was a sly old wolf, and he climbed up on the roof to look for a way into the brick house. The little pig saw the wolf climb up on the roof and came up with an idea.
That's a good wolf.
Come on, no, it's not you. You did pretty much. Come on.
Oh, pizza!
There we go. Brianna, go back to your story. Where are we on the plot diagram now?
Climax.
Climax. The little pig lit a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed it in a large kettle of water. The little pig lit a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed on it a large kettle of water. When the wolf finally found the hole in the chimney, he crawled down and splash right into that kettle of water, and there was the end of his shoulder, the big old bad wolf. This is the most exciting part. And the wolf fell into the pot of water. Correct? Alright, now we're going to go into what part of plot diagram?
Falling action.
Falling action.
Why is it for the pig?
The next day, the little pig invited his mother over. She said, you see, it is just as I told you. The way to get along in the world is to do things as well as you can. Fortunately for that little pig, he learned that lesson. And he just lived happily ever after. So where are we now?
Resolution. Resolution.
Alright, so, tomorrow, let me go to work.
We have two tasks.
We're going to talk about this real quick so that you can actually see this on your video as well. Alright, so we need to first of all, what is a plot?
A plot is the beginning, middle, and end.
Very good. What are the parts of a plot diagram?
What are the parts? Characters?
What are the parts? There are 5 parts.
Right. Characters, settings.
The parts of a plot diagram. What's the first part of a plot diagram? Exposition. Next part. Next part. Next part. Last part. What is an Exposition.
It's the grade of story.
Okay, what does it include?
Character, setting, and complex. Complex. These are complex.
It introduces us to what?
To the character, setting, and complex.
Okay. What are the parts? What are the parts of a setting? What are the parts of a setting? No, let's say what is a setting.
A setting is time and place.
Time and place. What is antagonist?
Antagonist. A bad guy. Antagonist is the villain in the story.
Who was the antagonist in the Three Little Pigs?
The wolf. The wolfie. The wolfie. That's a lot. The protagonist. Yes,
The wolf. What is a protagonist?
A protagonist is the hero of the story.
Who was the protagonist in the Three Little Pigs?
The Three Little Pigs.
Well, I can understand that too. Three Little Pigs, they're really good ones. And I see what you're saying, Summer. That's right. But our little pig was like the hero.
That's
right.
And he's the one.
What is rising action?
Rising action is the exciting part. No, that's a climax.
Rising action is what, Summer?
Rising action is the event that leads to the revolution. No.
Wow.
The event that rising action leads to the climax.
Thank you.
You said the rising action.
What is the climax?
The climax.
What is falling action?
It leads to the resolution.
What is the resolution?
The resolution is when the problem is solved.
When the problem is solved or how the problem is solved?
How the problem is solved.
And what is another name for conflict? Please stop whistling.
Turning point. Problem. Turning point. Turning.
What would you say, please? Problem.
The turning point is the climax.
What are characters?
Characters are the animals. People are
Animals,
and it can be a shape.
people, and stories. Alright.
It can be anything.
Any questions?
No. No.
Any questions?
No.
Yeah, please. Now mark my dress too. Any questions, children?
No. My